Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to determine or recognize the function of words in a Greek sentence. Our text for this lesson was drawn from the workbook of Dr. Mounts. It reads as follows. Ke eresan, hilogi ton pilaton. Translation: and the words pleased Pilate. For the purpose of learning, let us now consider the syntactical relationships in this text. In its original word order, we have a conjunction, verb, and two articular nouns. So you can see that if you don't know your case endings, it's going to be very difficult, even impossible, for you to make sense of the sentence as it stands here. The question that most struggle with is, how do we know which of the two is the subject and which is the object? In other words, how do we make sense of a Greek sentence where the word order tells us little to nothing? The answer, of course, is that we look at the case of each noun, which is marked by the case ending, and by that we will be able to determine its function. That is why it is imperative that you learn the case endings well. Hilogi, for instance, although in the original word order here it comes after the verb, the case ending tells us that this is a nominative noun, a nominative plural noun. If this was the dative singular, the iota would have been subscripted. So we know it's a nominative noun and it's plural. Another key diagnostic, or a helpful diagnostic, that we have is the fact that it has a nominative plural masculine article attached to it. So by that, we can see that this must be the subject of the verb. Ton pilaton, as we can see by both the case ending and the article, is in the accusative case, marking it as the direct object of the verb. To illustrate it in the normal subject-verb direct object construction, it will look like this. We begin with our connective conjunction ke, which usually would connect this sentence with the previous. And then we have our main verb, eresan, the subject of the main verb, hilogi, which will then appear before the main verb, and the direct object, ton pilaton. Just something to bring under your attention is that note that both articles agree with the noun it modifies in case, number, and gender, and that will always be the case. I'm sure by now you can see that Greek works differently to English. That is because in English, the function of words in a sentence is largely determined by the word order. This sentence, for instance, if we take the subject and we place it after the verb, and we take the object and we place it before the verb, the entire meaning of the sentence changes, doesn't it? It's not the same in Greek though. Remember that in Greek, the function of a noun is determined by its case, which is marked by its ending. To make this clear, I shuffled the two nouns around in the Greek sentence so that you can see that it's the form of the noun and not its place in the sentence that tells us what the function, or that determines the function of the noun. So whether you have the subject after the verb, the subject at the end of the sentence, the object before the verb and the subject after the verb, or both the subject and object before the verb, it doesn't matter, because it's the case ending that tells us what the function of each noun in the sentence is. And in all four cases, the sentence means the exact same thing. To recap, let's go over some of the main points. We have learned that in Greek, case trumps word order. The function of a noun is determined by its case, which is marked by its ending. The subject will be a noun or nominal in the nominative case, and the object or the direct object will be a noun or nominal in the accusative case.